everyone, it's Jenny again. It's almost the end of term, which means if you're in lower 6, your teachers have probably started asking for your personal statement draft, and if you've just finished GCSE and starting your A-level soon, you have probably started thinking about what you want to do after graduating 6th form. So today, as someone that has applied to uni twice, I will be showing you one of my personal statements. I went to school in Hong Kong till year 10, which is why I don't have any GCSE equivalent qualifications. But after that, I came to the UK to do my A-levels, and I did business, Chinese, economics, and maths. I got A-star in all of them except maths, which I got an A. And the first time I applied to uni was in 2022, which is when I was in 6th form. I applied for philosophy, politics, and economics, which is PPE, and I applied to Oxford, Durham, Warwick, KCL, and Edinburgh. I got into all of them except Oxford, and I actually went to Warwick for a term before quitting because I realized it wasn't really what I wanted to do. And then I spent a bit of time figuring out what I really want to do, and then reapplied for architecture schools in the UK. And the second time I applied, I got into Sheffield and Manchester, and I will be attending Sheffield's architecture school this September. Today I'll be sharing my architecture personal statement because it's more recent, and also you can find a lot of examples of subjects like PPE or other social science online, but there are not many architecture personal statements that you can use as a reference. So yeah. Now, let's move on to my personal statement. At the National Museum of Western Art and the Yoyogi Gymnasium, I witnessed the application of the 5 points of new architecture by Le Corbusier and Kenzo Tange's dynamic design of a suspended roof span inspired by traditional Japanese houses. These architectures significantly impact the 20th century modernist movement and align with the saying, "Building more is a solution to most problems," which I believed while growing up in Hong Kong. Yet such belief was challenged in Negative Architecture by Kengo Kuma, who criticized the unsustainability of fragile modern monument-style architecture to fulfill human desire as a visual symbol. With cities becoming homogeneous, it is impossible to see architecture as isolated individuals and neglect the surroundings. Desiring the creation of sustainable architecture, I long to be an architect who contributes to re-establishing connections between nature and humanity. As a Chinese dancer, I am interested in the impact of culture on the expression of ideas. During a school trip to Beijing, I researched the city's history and development. I discovered the value of decorations indicates the status of religion, while the layout of housing reveals traditional beliefs of feng shui and family-oriented values. I pondered how these cultural treasures are threatened due to urbanism. The Temple of Heaven has been successfully transformed into a public park, but hutoms are being demolished. This resonates with my work as an intern at the company. A proposal for an immersive Artist P exhibition in Macau. Under architect bosses' names, leadership, I was introduced to the use of software and participated in the early stages of the project, such as conceptualization, collaboration, and commercial pitching. With reference to research and site visits, I presented ideas of revitalization and creating spaces that introduce the public to Artist P's arts and connect with Macau's cultural heritage. This allowed me to explore solutions to make commercial art and architecture inclusive and interactive, while being cost-effective and incorporating local elements. I co-founded Youth Connection Among Nations, a project to raise awareness of global crisis and connect students internationally. At a conference I hosted, Dr. Serena Polastri gave a talk on the future of architecture. The cricket shelter was eye-opening as it is economically efficient in a world with resource shortages. To further explore the ecological horizons of architecture, I read Jared Diamond's Collapse: How Societies Choose to Fail or Succeed. I was intrigued by the emphasis on the environmental consequences of human activities and the need for adaptive actions. I recalled my 180 Degrees consulting work for Shade the UK, a charity focusing on the built environment to protect the vulnerable against climate change. When looking into possibilities of sustainable architecture, I was enlightened by Kengo Kuma and Ken Young's design with the use of natural materials and bioclimatic structures. I would like to further study these topics as an architecture student. In the Eyes of the Skin, Jay Phalasma wrote about the dominating sense of vision while experiencing architecture, a topic I explored while participating in Dr. Anna Costa's research project on spaces and tools for learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. Through discussions and drawings comparing home learning to classroom teaching, I gained insight into spatial awareness and its effects on us. The idea of school being not just a place to learn, but also to experience, led me to experiment with new classroom setups that promote interactive learning, engaging multiple senses beyond traditional one-sided teaching. In the future, I aspire to be a community-minded architect who tackles problems in a constantly changing world full of uncertainties. I aim to design highly functional architecture that blends local traditions with modern development, fostering harmony between people and nature. There are a few things that you should be aware of while planning or writing your personal statements. The first and most important question you should ask yourself is why you want to do this course. What topics or parts of the course interest you the most? Do some research on the course curriculum and the course structure to confirm it is really what you want to do for the coming 3 to 4 years. After that, try to write a list of all the supercurricular activities you have done. If you don't know what supercurricular means, it is basically things you do beyond your normal school curriculum that are related to the subjects that you would like to study. It could be extra reading, podcasts, documentaries, online classes, or other projects. These are important because they provide evidence of your enthusiasm and give you a broad insight into the subject. If you're not sure where to start, you could have a look at the uni website or search for the first year reading list. To make your personal statement more personal and unique, you could include and relate your hobbies to the course that you're applying for. For example, I talked about how Chinese dance reminded me of the cultural aspect of architecture. Because not many people know about it in the UK, it made my point very unique and it became something that the interviewers could ask about in the interview. Since I was applying to more competitive schools, the scale of subject-related content to extracurriculars was around 80 to 20, or even less. Unlike US colleges where you have to be very all-rounded, your extracurricular activities are not the main focus of most UK universities. It is great to ask your teachers, friends, and family to proofread your work, even if they know little about your subject. It is great to have someone who does the subject to give you some professional advice, but people who don't know much about the subject may see it from a totally different perspective and inspire you in some unexpected ways. Also, there is a great chance that the university recruiter has never done the course that you're applying to, so it would be great if you write in simple languages that can be easily understood. You should also be prepared to rewrite your personal statement many times because you want it to be the best it could be. I actually had 7 drafts before getting to my finals, so don't be worried if it is not looking good at the start and don't give up. Last but not least, good luck with your application. That's it for today's video. Please comment down below if you have any questions about personal statements or uni application. And if you've enjoyed this video or found this video useful, please also give it a like, share, and subscribe. Thank thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye!